ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थसुभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदायादिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया। मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजे आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहेतुकी। Reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 49, verse number 7, 8. Okay, number 8. So this is Kunti Devi speaking to Akrura. In the previous verse, she said that how Dhritarashtra is behaving in a biased manner, try to give poison, etc., to kill the Pandavas. And then she remembered her childhood family members and spoke Api smaranti na saumya pitrau bhratarascha me bhaginyo bhratru putrascha jamaya sakya evacha. So she is asking that, do our parents remember us? So bhratarascha, brothers, sisters, nephews, their wives and friends. So she is inquiring about everybody, that how are they and do they also think of me sometime. Of course they are thinking, that's why they sent him to get the news. Otherwise why would they send if they are not thinking? And Bhratrayo Bhagavan Krishna Saranyo Bhaktavatsalah Petrisveshayan Smrati Ramaschamburuhekshanaha. And do our nephew Bhagavan Krishna, who is worthy of taking shelter and very affectionate towards his devotees, does he remember us? And also other, and also Petris Vashayan means the Pandavas, cousins, and also Bhagavan Balaram, who has eyes like lotus. So she is mainly asking about Krishna and Balaram, and that's where she is going to pray, because she is a great devotee of Krishna. Sapatne madhye shochantim vrikanam harinimiva santvishyati mam vakyai pitrihinascha balakan. So now she is specifically talking about Krishna, that will Sri Krishna ever come and pacify us in future by his sweet words, and also the children who have lost their father Pitrihinam. So he says, I am in the middle of my enemies, Sapatne Madhye, just like a doe in the midst of wolves. So these Kauravas are like wolves all around, ready to kill her and children. So she feels like that. And then she started remembering Krishna, and she speaks directly to Krishna as if he is there. Krishna Krishna Mahayogin Vishwatman Vishwabhavana Prapannam Pahi Govinda Shishubhischa Vasidatim. So she is saying, O Krishna, O great yogi, O the soul of the universe, the creator of the world, O Govinda, please protect me, who has taken your shelter, and also my children, and I am in grief. So there is a repetition here, Krishna, Krishna. Why is repetition? Repetition is a defect. So, trying to get attention, and she is calling him as Mahayogi because he is not physically present there. So because Krishna is a great yogi, still he can hear her words, although not physically there, because he is a Vishwatman. He is the Atma of the Vishwa. And he is also Vishwa Bhavana. Bhavana means creator. So Bhaveti iti Bhavana, creates. And Govinda. So Govinda means who gave protection to the cows. So in this way, she is indicating that we are also needing protection. Therefore, Prapannam Pahi Govinda. along with the Shishu. Shishubhis cha mam pahi. So protect me along with the children of Siddhatim, because I am in great distress. Nanyat tav padam bhojat pashyami sharanam nirnam bibhyatam mritu samsarad Ishwarasya pavargikat. So she says that besides your lotus feet, I do not see any other shelter. So it came earlier also that Krishna is the only person to be worth taken shelter. Akrura also said like that earlier. So she is also saying that tav padam bhojat anyat sharanam na pashyami nirnam. So for human beings there is no other person other than Krishna whose shelter should be taken, because he has lotus feet, means cools all the problems of the material world which are like fire. So it gives cooling shade. And bibhyatam mritu samsarad. So everybody has fear from this material world which is called mrityu samsara. Everything here turns into death. You want to forget death, but death is everywhere. The samsara is running on death. So therefore it's called sometimes Mrityu Loka, or the planet of death. All the time you hear news about death, right? So that's why she's saying Mrityu Samsara. And this is the big fear for everybody. Everybody fears death. So Bibhyatam. So says that your feet are the only shelter, because Ishwarasya apavargikat. Because your feet are apavargika. They give apavarga. They give moksha. Mokshashyami mashucha. Krishna says, take my shelter and I will make you free from all grief. So there is fear all around, something or the other. Even big people have fear, who have big security around them. That's why they have fear, otherwise why they have security? So more big, more fear. So it says that only shelter is your feet. Namaha Krishnaya Shuddhaya Brahmane Paramatmane Yogeshwaraya Yogaya Tvamaham Sharanam Gata. Says that I bow down to Krishna, who is Shuddha, who is pure, means he is not having upadhi of karma. Earlier you said that his body is free from upadhi. So therefore Shuddha, because impurity is ignorance, avidya, and body is product of that. So he is pure, he is free from that, therefore he is Brahman Paramatmane. So he is Bhagavan, he is Brahman, he is Paramatma. And Yogeshwara, he is the master of yoga, he has all the powers. And he is also yoga, he is also the process, because he is the one who propagates yoga. So therefore he is called yoga here. Tvamaham Sharanam Gata, and I have taken shelter of you. So it's talking about Sharanagati. Therefore please protect. Savrikanam iti anantaram madhye iti adhyarya. So in verse number 10 says that the word madhya should be applied after the wolves, in the midst of the wolves. The word is not there. Mahayoginiti Mathrayam sthitopi mametam khedoktim shrinu iti bhava. So she is calling Krishna as Mahayogi, means great yogi. What is the indication? Says Mahayogi means all the Krishna is in Mathura, he can hear her words. So there are prataksha, like we do prataksha with our eyes, with our senses. That's how we get the direct perception. But our senses are limited. So there is also one prataksha which is called yogaja prataksha. So yogis can do prataksha, they can perceive things directly which normal people cannot perceive. You perceive things in a limited range. You can hear within a certain range. You can also see maybe for few miles. You can smell for a few hundred meters. You can touch at an arm's length. You can taste, put it in your mouth. And you can feel heat, cold by touching to your body. So every sense has got its limitation. But yogis do not have that kind of limitation. And our senses, they perceive only things which are in the present, now. They cannot perceive things which were in the past, even if they happened here in this room. You cannot perceive them, but yogis can perceive things without the limitation of time and space. Common person is limited by time and space because of the karma. That is the bondage. So then your activities, physical, mental, vocal, they become limited by time and space. Your perceptions and also your dealings. We take information from outside into our body inside, and we also send some things outside. But this is all very limited. So therefore Mahayogin or Yogeshwara, they can see past, present and future. So it says Mathurayam sthitopi mamaitam khedoktim shrinu iti bhava. That all the situated in Mathura, you can hear the words of my grief. Kincha Vishwatman, moreover you are Vishwatma, means you are everywhere. Although you are in Mathura, but you are also here. Mam hirdayapi tvam sthita shunoshi iti bhava. You are also situated in my heart. Sarvasya cham hriday sannimishta. So therefore you can also hear what I am saying. And Vishwa Bhavana iti, so you Vishwamapi tvam palayasi mat palanam tekovati bhara iti bhava. So Vishwa Bhavana here is taking the meaning of Bhavana as nourisher, that you nourish, you protect, you maintain the world. So it is not a big thing for you to protect me, because I am also part of the Vishwa. Hey Govinda, mama netra gochari bhava. So Go means sense and Vinda means available. So become available to my eyes so that I can see. That is what Govinda means here. So mama netra gochari bhava tvamaham drishyasamiti bhava. So that I can see you. So she is having great desire to see Krishna. Apvargikat, apvarga dan arhat. So apvargikat means that you give apvarga, liberation, freedom. Then Krishna So this is the verse number 13, Namah Krishnaya. So he refers to the words, names and gives meaning. So Krishnaya Bhaktair Upasyaya Artha. So the word Krishna here implies one who is worshipped by the devotees. Krishna has many names, but among all the names, Krishna is most dear name. So therefore she is calling him first as Namah Krishna. And Shuddhaya Drishyatva api Mayatitaya. So Shuddha means that although he is beyond Maya, but he is visible, or rather other way around, that although he is visible, still he is not, his body is not made of matter. That's why he is pure, spiritual. Brahmane Jnani Bhir Upasyaya. So there are three aspects of Bhagwan: Paramatma and Brahman. So these are meant for three different types of transcendentalists. The Jnanis, they want to attain Brahman. So I am Atma Brahma. That is their Mahavakya. So therefore he says the word Brahman is used here to indicate that he is worshipable of the Jnanis. And Paramatma, yogis meditate on Paramatma in the heart. Kechit Sohridaya Akase Vasantam. So many people meditate in the heart. So that is yogis. And Bhagavan is for the bhaktas. They meditate on Bhagavan. And yoganam tat prapti upayanam bhaktyadinam ishvaraya. So he is called here as Yogeshwara. So the word yoga also means a process to achieve perfection. That is also called yoga. So yoga, because yoga means that which unites you. Means the path. Yoga means the process or the path. So he is Yogeshwara because he is the propagator of all the paths. So yogastayo mayo prokta. Nrinam shreya vidhitsaya. Jnanam karam cha bhaktischa napayanya asti kutrachit. Krishna says that I have propagated three yogas. So yoga there does not mean yoga as we think of. Yoga there means the three processes, three paths. Jnana yoga, karma yoga, bhakti yoga. And there is no other process. So he says yoga nam tat prapti upayanam. So tat prapti means to attain Brahman, he has propagated Jnana yoga. To attain Paramatma, he has propagated Ashtanga yoga or Raja yoga. To attain Bhagavan, he has propagated Bhakti yoga. And what about Karma yoga? So Karma sarva akhila partha jnane parisamaapyate. Karma leads to Jnana. So Bhaktyadinam Ishvaraya. So Bhakti etc. may follow Ishvara Bhagavan. Pradana Samarthaya Yogaya. So he is called also Yoga, means he is able to give. Tattadupaya Swarupaya cha. Or it means that he is the personification of those very paths, means whatever one attains, ultimately attains him only. Sarvadeva Namaskaram Gacchati Sagaram Prati. So all the obeisances ultimately reach him. So this is what Akrura got the news. So now he speaks Sukha Uvacha. Sri Sukha Uvacha. Iti anusmritya svajanam krishnam cha jagadishwaram prarudad dukkhita rajan bhavatam prapitamahi. So in this way, remembering family members and relatives and Krishna specifically, who is Jagdishvara, then Kunti, she cried very loudly, prarudat, dukkhita, feeling very sad. Rajan bhavatam prapitamahi. So Sukadeva Goswami says that, O king, your great grandmother, because Kunti was the mother of his grandfather, right? His father was Abhimanyu, Parikshit's father was Abhimanyu, Abhimanyu's father Arjuna, Arjuna's mother is. So his grandmother was Draupadi, Subhadra actually, because he was born from Abhimanyu, and Abhimanyu's mother was Subhadra. And great grandmother was Kunti. So therefore it says Prapitamahi. So he's reminding him that you come to this great dynasty and you are also related to Krishna. So he's speaking like that. So means Sukadeva Goswami is also relating things to Parikshit. It's not just speaking, but he is speaking, keeping Parikshit in mind. So Prapitamahi Kunti, Prapitamahi, great grandmother is Kunti. So then Samadukha Sukho Kruro Vidurascha Mahayashaha Santvaya Masitu Kuntim Tatputrotpatti Hetubhi. So when she was crying like this, then Akrura and Vidura was also present there. Vidura, who has a great fame, Vidurascha Mahayasa. So he says they are Samadukha Sukha, Akrura, that they remain equanimous in happiness and distress, both of them. Sukhe dukhe samay kritva, labha labha, jaya jaya. So that's how Akrura. And so when you see somebody who is suffering, he is your relative, and that person starts crying, then what do? You also start crying, right? Or at least make a face like crying. Otherwise people think that this person is very hard-hearted, he's not expressing any emotion, isn't it? So they did not cry, they remain balanced. This is unusual. Usually you see like this, somebody dies in the family, everybody cries. Friends, relative comes, they also cry. So he says, Sama dukkha sukha akruro vidurascha mahayasa. He says they did not make some pitiable faces or anything like that. They did not express their empathy like crying, etc. But they remained equanimous. And they consoled Kunti Devi. Then only they can console. Otherwise you also start crying with her. And they said that Tat Putra Utpatti Hetubhi. What was their consolation? How did they console? So he says that remember that how your sons are born. Because these 5 sons, although they are known as sons of Pandu, but they were born from the 5 Devatas. Yudhishthira was born from Dharmaraj, Bhima from Vayu Devata, Arjuna from Indra, and Nakul Sahadev from the 2 doctors, Aswani Kumaraj. So he says, remember that they are actually the children of the 5 Devatas, therefore nothing can happen to them. they are already protected by them, or of course they are protected by Krishna, and they have come for some mission. So don't be in anxiety that these Pandavas will be killed. And of course, as a mother, she is very protective and she feels like that. So they are reminding her of the greatness of these 5 brothers. And they are not ordinary people. So tasyaha putranam utpatti hetubhir jankair dharma aniladibhi ete dharmadi amsaha kena nashetum shakya ityadi. So they are reminding that her sons, the cause of their birth, cause here means the parents, the father basically, because she is the mother. So he says it's like Dharmaraj for Yudhishthira and Anila, Vayu Devata for Bhima. So he says they are parts of them. They are like manifestation of Dharmaraj, Vayu and so on. So there is no one ke nashetum shakya. Who is that? Who is going to kill them? Who can destroy them? Ityadi. Tat prabhav kathanair ityartha. So by explaining the prowess of these 5 children, they consoled her that do not be in anxiety, nothing will happen to them. Yasyan rajanam abhyetya vishmam putra lalasam avadat suhridam madhye bandhubhihi sauhridoditam. So after they consoled, then Akrura wanted to leave now because he already stayed a few months there. It's time to go back. So he goes to the king Yudhishthira and then Dhritarashtra, Yasyan Rajanam Abhyetya. While leaving, he visits King Dhritarashtra, who is Vishamam Putra Lalasam, who is biased person and very much attached to his sons. So then in the midst of all the friends and family members, Suhridam Madhye Avadat, he spoke the following words, Bandhuvi Shohida Uditat, the message which was given to him. So that is the message he is giving, which was from Krishna, Balaram, etc. Bandhuvi Shohida Uditat. So Sruhidam Bhishmadinam Madhya Sthitam. So where did he speak it? He spoke the message when King Dhritarashtra was surrounded by his friends, relatives, such as Bhishma. So in the presence of Bhishma, Dronacharya, Kripacharya, sons, Madhya Sthitam Bandhubhir Viduradibhi, and also Vidura etc. were present there. Sahitam Sauhridauditam Sauhridvyanjaka Vakyam. So he spoke the words which were actually beneficial for him, although he may not listen to them, but he speaks nice instruction to him. So this is what Akrura said. भो भो वैचित्र वीर्यत्वं कुरुणां कीर्तिवर्धन भ्रातृप्रते पांडव अधुनासनमास्थितः. So he is also saying bho bho twice. It's not only once. So this is to get his attention so that he is not thinking of something else. So he says, oh Vachitra Virya, because he was son of Vichitra Virya. He says that Tvam Kurunam Kirti Vardhana. You are the propagator, spreader of the fame of the Kuru Vansa, Kuru dynasty. So if you want to give some instruction to somebody, first praise him. When you praise somebody, their heart opens. Then you can put something inside the heart. If he does not close it before you put it. So therefore first he is praising him. He says, you are bringing fame to the dynasty of the Kurus. Such great kings happened here. And now you are sitting. So what fame is he bringing? That's not important. He says, Bhratri Uparate Pandav. He says, when your brother Pandu, he died, then Adhuna Asanam Astita. So now you are sitting on the throne of the king of Hastinapura. So it means you have a responsible position, you are not ordinary person, which also means as a king, it is your duty to give protection to your subjects. So you can be biased if you are just looking after your own family, but when you are in a position where you have to look after the whole kingdom, then you cannot be biased. And if you become biased, then you are not a great king. Because you have to treat everyone properly. So that's why he is calling him like that, that this is how your forefathers were, Srantanu and others before that. So you should also follow in their footsteps. That is the meaning of Kirti Vardhana. Reminding him of his great dynasty lineage, because people feel proud that we are born in this particular family, in this dynasty. So we cannot act which brings infamy to our family or dynasty. So that is the significance of telling this. So Bhratri Uprata iti Pandaho Putresu Satsu api tvam Rajas Asnam Astite. So he is also indirectly telling that you are sitting on the throne when actually the sons of Pandu are there. You should give them the throne, because it was their father who was the king. So it is Kataksha. Sarcastically also he is saying Vyanjana. Dharmena palayan urvim prajaha shilena ranjayan vartamana samayasveshu shreyah kirtim mavapsyasi. So now he is giving him some instruction. He says, by running the kingdom in a dharmic manner and keeping the subjects happy by your good character and existing, remaining equal to your own people and others, you will attain Shreya, means good karma, and also good fame. Because people are also worried about their name and fame. Nobody wants to be criticized. Even those people who act immorally, they don't like that they are known as immoral. They also want to be known as good people. Everybody wants to be known as good, great, charitable, compassionate, who does help to others. So like that, you want kirti, then this is how you will get. You want fame. Kirti yasya sajivati. One who has fame continues to live even after death. So you should not act in a way that you become infamous. So that's what he tells him. Indirectly he is telling you are not like that. Bhavatu tadapi evam vartasveti aha dharmeniti. So he says that it's okay that you have taken the throne which belongs to Yudhishthira Maharaj. Let it be so, but now at least act in this manner. What he is saying. Take care of the people properly. Anyatha tu acharan loke garhito yasya tamaha tasmat samatve vartasva pandaveshu atmajeshu cha. So now he is not only speaking in Vyanjana, but he is speaking by Mukhyartha, straightforward. After all, Dhritarashtra is blind, whether he will understand Vyanjana or not. So he gives him the straight message. He says, if you don't act like this, means Vartamana Samasvesu, if you don't remain equanimous, then what will happen? Garhito yasyase, then you will be criticized. People will criticize you and you will go to hell. Tama. Andha tama pravashanti. Yeche ke atmano jana. So you will go to andha tamas. Remember avatamas and andha tamas. Avatamas is kshina tamasha. And andha tamasa is intense darkness, suffering. Darkness, suffering. So you will go to hell. So think of this. Therefore, you don't want to go to hell, then what do you have to do? Samatve vartasva pandaveshu atmajeshu. So behave equally towards Pandavas and your own sons. Don't discriminate. Don't think that these are sons of Pandu and these are my sons. Think that you have got 105 sons instead of 100 sons. Just add these 5 also into the list. What is the big problem? Only 5% extra. Right? So then you will not go to hell. Otherwise, you are going to go to hell. So tamaha narakam. Tama means narak. Neha chatyanta samvasaha karhichit kenachit saha rajan svenapi dehena kimu jayatmajadibhi. So now is giving some tattva gyan. Because when somebody has got attachment, how to break the attachment? How do you break attachment? By giving tattva gyan. Because attachment comes due to ignorance, due to attachment to the body. So if you can raise somebody's consciousness above body, then you become equal. So therefore he says there is nothing here which is permanent. Nacha naiha cha atyanta samvasam. Atyanta samvasam means that you don't live with anything permanently. You have things which are temporary. Everything is temporary. So, karhichit kenachit saha. So he says with anybody, whomever you are living with, that residence, this living is temporary. And wherever you are, that residence is also temporary. It's like you live in your house, but it's like you are living in a hotel room. Because you will leave, then somebody else will come and live. It's like one sadhu, he went to see a king. So he was very old. So he visited the king. King was young, but very pious. So he received him very nicely, washed his feet, madhuparka, all this padya, argha, artis, and gave some nice food to eat. Then the sadhu asked the king that, how is your hotel running? So the king says, which hotel? I don't run any hotel. So he says, well, this where you are. He says, this is not a hotel, it's my palace. Now in India, many palaces are being used as hotels. You know that? Especially in Rajasthan, because these palaces belong to the kings. Now there are no more kingdom, so their descendants have turned them into nice hotels. So he says, how is this hotel running? He says, this is not a hotel, this is my palace. So he says, well, to me it looks like a hotel. So he asks, how you say? He says, well, I came 50 years ago, then your grandfather was here. Then I came 25 years ago, then your father was here. Now I'm coming here, now you are here. After 25 years, maybe your son will be here. So it's always somebody else is coming. It's like a hotel, you know. People come and go, right? If it is your palace, you should be there permanently. Why do you leave and go? It's a hotel, you leave and go. Go and live somewhere else. Now they are somewhere else. So therefore he says that Nahiya chatyant samvasaha karichit kenachit. That you don't live with anybody permanently. I mean, you can think in your own life, 20 years, 30 years ago, were you living with these people with whom you live now? And after 20, 30 years, you don't know where you will live with whom. So you may leave, they may leave. So he says, Rajan svenapi dehena kimu jaya atmajadivi. So he says, no, why you say like this? I am living with my children, wife, etc. He says, you cannot live even with your own body permanently. Your body will leave. And then what to speak of your wife? Wife came first or the body came first? So body came first, then came wife, then came children. So they all came after the body came. And body itself is not going to be permanently with you. So then how these people who came later will be with you? When the body is gone, all relations change. So death is like taking sannyas. When you take sannyas, all relations nullified. That's why a sannyasi does his own death ceremony, because he's dead socially. He's not supposed to have any relation with anybody. So therefore he says, Rajan svenapi dehena kimu jaya atma jadivi. He says your own body itself is temporary. So why are you performing these activities for your children and all that? Then when you die, you are going to get the bad karma with that. So nachate priya api putrader yo dhanadaya shirasthai nitya. He says, whatever you think is very dear to you, your children, your wife, your wealth, your own body, he says this is not chirasthai. It's not long lasting. It's all temporary. It looks like that. When you are in a particular situation, you don't think that this situation is temporary. You think this is how I will live, I will continue. I am in this body. Others become old, I will not become old. Others die, but I am immortal. People think like that. So, but unfortunately it doesn't remain like that. So it says, Ekaha prasuyate jantur, eka eva praliyate, eko anurbhukte sukritam, eka eva cha duskritam. Very nice statement. He says you are born alone. You are not born with your friend. with your husband or wife or children. You are born by yourself. Even if you are a twin, still you are born one by one. So ekaha prasuyate jantu. Jantu means animal. So you are born alone, and eka eva praliyate, and you will die alone. Not let's die together. Even if you die together, still you are dying yourself. Just like if you sleep yourself. So it's like that. Eko anurbhukte sukritam. And your karma, good karma, you get the benefit of yourself. No one shares in your karma. And eka eva duskritam. And your bad karma also comes to you only. Sometimes people give their karma to others. No? Okay. Can you transfer karma? Some people say like that. I give half of my life to you, something like that. Or they say that the Guru takes the karma of the disciple. Right? At the time of Diksha, all the karma of the disciple goes to the Guru. Right?
No.
Why? That's why Guru becomes sick. That's what they say, that when Guru becomes sick, they say it's because of the disciple's karma. Because Guru has no karma. That's why he is called Guru, means heavy. He's full of karma. Karma heavy. They say like that. And this is a heavy karma. Heavy karma means Guru karma. Heavy means Guru. So Guru has a heavy karma. That's why it's called Guru. So he says, ekaha prasuyate jantur, eka eva praliyate, eko anurbhunkte sukritam, eka eva cha duskritam. So you are born alone, you die alone, you live alone. Now people are living also alone. This is good because they realize this, that we are alone. Previously it was difficult for people to realize this because they lived in joint family. So modern society said, no, you should know the truth. So they broke the family unit. Otherwise people remain in illusion that we are together. So he says, know the reality. You came alone, you live alone, you die alone. Right? Sometimes people die alone and people don't know that they are dead. After 1 week they find out. Some lady died in America in the porch sitting on a chair. After 2 weeks they found out that she was sitting there. So you die alone, you live alone. That's what he has not added here. Because in the olden days they used to live together. Now we have to add that also. That you are born alone. Then after birth itself you live alone, because in the West they put you in a separate room. After a few months you don't sleep with the parents. And then parents go to work, so they leave you behind to play with some gadget. With iPhone. So you are alone. And then eko anubhunkte, you also enjoy alone. If you are eating, you eat alone only. Even if somebody else is eating with you, you yourself are eating by yourself. Sleep alone, die alone. So, ekla chalo re bhai, ekla chalo. That's what Rabindranath Tagore said. Walk alone. So, tatra tavad utpatti maranayoho sukha dukkhayoscha na kenapi sahityam ityah. So therefore you should know that your birth, your death, your happiness and your pain, they happen to you only. If you got a headache, you may have 10,000 people under you your followers. But if you have a headache, you have a headache. If you have a pain in your stomach, you have a pain in your stomach. They cannot do anything. They cannot say, oh Guruji, give your pain to me. So you have to take your karma with you. Sukha dukha. Na kenapi sahityam. Eka iti. So that's what he is describing. So Akrura is giving nice instruction, but he is not going to take it for sure. That's why he is Dhritarashtra. But that's how people are mostly. People are like him. Instructions are given freely, they are also rejected freely. Right? Okay, I will stop here if there is any question to ask. Yeah.
Could you maybe explain where we are right now in terms of timeline? Isn't that Krishna is still 13 years?
Still in Mathura.
Yeah, but is he still this young, this teenager with 13 years, and now he's giving instruction to the king, or is he?
No, Krishna was giving instruction when he was a young boy, even Govardhan. When he was 7 years old, he was giving instruction to them. What are you doing? Why are you worshipping Indra? He said, worship Govardhan. He gave a logic to them.
And then how did he know about the Pandavas? That he wants
relatives. They're coming and going. I mean, Kunti was present when he was being bound, remember? So he knew them.
Okay. So therefore, maybe also the
Pandavas may have also visited.
They might have come to Vraj before.
Yeah. Okay. Gustavo.
So why are feet emphasized in Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition?
What?
The feet, like why are they so important as opposed to like head or face or hands?
This is not Gaudiya Vaishnavism only, this is in Vedic culture is like that. It's out of respect. So just like when you give respect to somebody, you touch their feet or you bow down. So it's just respectful statement. So feet here does not mean only feet. When you say I take shelter of your feet, means I take shelter of you. So feet represents the whole person, but it's a way of respectful mention.
Thank you.
Purushottam Prabhu.
Two questions. First, maybe you can explain the relationship between Vasudeva and Kunti, how they are related, and also Akrura.
Akrura is like brother. I mean, not real brother, but cousin brother. Yeah. And Kunti is adopted sister. She was daughter of Kunti Bhoj, but she was adopted by Sursena. So then in that sense, she is sister. So she is Vasudeva's sister.
Okay, that's okay. Now, another question I have from the verse number 11. Here looks like the Sanskrit that is not clear. This says, Mama netra vochari bhava tvam aham drishya samiti bhava. Drishya samiti.
No, Drishyasama. Drishyasama iti.
Drishyasama iti.
Means I may see. I may see you. Like Drishyat. Yate yatam yas yasam yatam yate yasam yas.